If you only have $500 saved, this mountain looks impossible.
The median American has less than $500 saved for an emergency. Meanwhile, you are staring at a goal of $50,000, which feels about as achievable as climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops. But here is the brutal truth. The first $50,000 is the hardest money you will ever accumulate in your life. It is a grind. It is unfair, and you have to do it entirely alone because compound interest hasn't shown up to help you yet. Today, I'm going to show you the Valley of Death protocol. This is an 8-step mathematical system to slash your timeline, escape the paycheck trap, and hit that $50,000 milestone in record time. Let's get the bad news out of the way immediately. Saving your first $50,000 is going to be the most miserable financial experience of your life. There is a specific mathematical reason for this, and it's not just because you aren't earning enough money. It's because of gravity. Imagine pushing a boulder up a steep hill. At the bottom, you are straining, sweating, and making zero momentum. Every inch requires maximum effort. This is your finances from 0 to 50,000. During this phase, 100% of your net worth comes from your own labor. You save $100, you have $100. You save $1,000, you have $1,000. There is no magic. There is no compound interest helping you. You are doing the heavy lifting while your money sits on the bench. Most people give up here. They look at their bank account after 6 months of sacrifice, see $3,000, and think, this isn't working. They don't realize they are fighting against millions of years of evolutionary programming called temporal discounting. Your brain values a $50 dinner tonight infinitely more than a $50,000 safety net 5 years from now. But once you cross 50,000, gravity flips. The boulder reaches the top of the hill. Suddenly, the money starts working for you. Today, we are not talking about the easy part. We are talking about how to sprint up that hill so you don't die at the bottom. To save $50,000 fast, we cannot focus on $5 lattes. We have to focus on the mathematical fact that most Americans are bleeding money from 3 specific arteries: housing, transportation, and food. If you are spending 90% of your income just to survive, no amount of budgeting apps will save you. We need to perform emergency surgery. Let's start with the single greatest wealth destroyer of the middle class, the car payment. The average new car payment in America is now over $700 per month. For trucks and SUVs, it is routinely over $1,000. This is financial suicide. People are paying $1,000 a month for the privilege of driving a depreciating liability to a job they hate. Over 5 years, that is $60,000 gone, plus insurance, plus gas. You have literally driven your first $50,000 into the ground. If you want to hit $50,000 fast, you cannot drive a $40,000 car. You need to drive a reliable, boring, paid-off vehicle. By eliminating a $700 car payment, you don't just save money, you reclaim your future. That $700 invested at 8% becomes nearly $130,000 in 10 years. The choice is yours. You can look rich in traffic, or you can actually be rich in your bank account. You cannot do both.
Next is housing. The rule is simple. If you are spending more than 30% of your income on rent or a mortgage, you are mathematically trapped. I know rents are high, but you have options. Get a roommate, move to a cheaper neighborhood. House hack. I'm not saying you have to live in a cardboard box forever. I'm saying you have to sacrifice comfort temporarily to build the foundation for the rest of your life. Cutting your housing cost by $400 a month is worth $100,000 to your net worth over the next 2 decades.
Okay, you've stopped the bleeding. Now, how do we organize the money? You need a system that removes willpower from the equation. We call this the 15-65-20 rule. This is the formula the wealthy use to balance enjoying life today while guaranteeing they get rich tomorrow. First is the 65% bucket. This is the cap, your essential expenses: rent, food, utilities, transport. These must fit into 65% of your take-home pay. If your essentials cost 90% of your income, you are in a financial emergency. You need to earn more or cut costs immediately. There is no third option. Next is the 15% bucket. This is the future. This is non-negotiable. 15% of every dollar you earn goes directly into investments. This isn't saving what's left over. This is paying yourself first. You treat this like a tax. The government takes their cut before you see it. You need to take your cut before you spend it.
This money goes into the tax triad we talk about: the 401k match, the Roth IRA, the HSA.
Finally, the 20% bucket. This is the fun. This is the part everyone gets wrong. You need to blow 20% of your money, guilt-free. Why? Because if you try to save 100% of your disposable income, you will burn out in 6 months and binge spend everything on a vacation you can't afford. The 20% bucket is your psychological release valve. Buy the shoes, go to the concert, order the expensive steak. As long as it fits in the 20%, you are safe. Now that you have the percentages, you need a system to execute them. Here is a terrifying stat. When your paycheck hits your bank account, you have exactly 15 seconds before your brain starts making terrible financial decisions. In those 15 seconds, you mentally spend the money. You think, "Oh, I can finally buy those shoes," or "I can order takeout." To save $50,000 fast, you must kill those 15 seconds. You need to automate your financial life. The moment your paycheck lands, automatic transfers should move the money before you even wake up. Transfer 1 to your savings account. Transfer 2 to your investment account. Transfer 3 to your fixed expenses account. If you have to manually move money to save it, you will fail. Willpower is a muscle that gets tired. Automation never gets tired. Let's do the math. If you save $500 a month, it will take you 8.3 years to save $50,000. That is too slow. We want to do this fast. You cannot budget your way to $50,000 if your income is poverty level. You can only cut expenses so much before you starve. Eventually, you have to pull the income lever. Most people try to live below their means. I want you to expand your means. In the gig economy, there is zero excuse for not earning an extra $1,000 a month. That could be freelancing, consulting, or selling things you don't need. But here is the rule. 100% of side hustle income goes to the $50,000 goal. You do not use Uber money to buy better Uber Eats. You use it to buy freedom. If you save $500 from your job plus $1,000 from a side hustle, you are saving $1,500 a month. At $1,500 a month, you hit $50,000 in less than 3 years. You just shaved 5 years off your sentence. That is the power of the income lever. While you are grinding, you need to grab the easiest money on the table. Strategy number 6 is the employer match. If your job offers a 401k match, that is a guaranteed 100% return on investment on day one. If you contribute $3,000 and your boss adds $3,000, you just made $3,000 in 5 minutes. People spend hours researching which stock to buy to get a 10% return, but they ignore the match, which gives them a 100% return instantly. Before you put a dime into a side hustle or a crypto coin, you max out the match. It is the only free lunch in finance. This accelerates your path to $50,000 because that employer money counts toward your net worth. While you are grinding toward $50,000, you are going to hit a magical milestone that changes everything. That milestone is $20,000. This is the point of no return. When you have $0, your brain is in survival mode. You take the first job offered to you because you need rent money. You stay in a toxic relationship because you can't afford to move out. You make decisions out of fear. But when you hit $20,000, your brain chemistry literally changes. You have walking away money. If your boss screams at you, you can quit. If a business opportunity comes up, you can invest. You stop playing defense and start playing offense. This is where the rich get richer. It's not a conspiracy, it's psychology. People with $20,000 in the bank negotiate higher salaries because they aren't desperate. They sleep better. Their cortisol levels drop. Once you hit $20,000, the remaining $30,000 becomes infinitely easier because you are operating from a position of strength. Here is the final secret. Saving your first $50,000 isn't about the money, it's about the identity shift. The hardest part isn't the math, it's becoming the person who saves. Most people view saving as a punishment. They think, I have to deprive myself today. You need to flip the script. Spending money on garbage is the punishment. It punishes your future self by keeping you trapped in a cubicle for an extra decade. When you have $50,000, you are not rich. You cannot buy a Lamborghini. But you own your time. You have choices. And in a world where everyone else is a slave to their next paycheck, having choices makes you the wealthiest person in the room. The first $50,000 is a war. It is you against the marketers, you against your own biology, and you against the gravity of starting from zero. But once you push that boulder over the top of the hill, the momentum takes over. Start the protocol today. Kill the car payment. Automate the transfer. Hit the $20,000 mark. I'm Styles. The first step is the hardest. Take it anyway. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.